Hello my lovelies, how are you today? It's Sue Verhoeven here, and I thought I would give you an update about what happened today. As some of you may remember or realise, today was the day that I went to see the nurse at my doctor's surgery. As I've said before, I'm seeing her once a week, and Wink is kind of maintaining my dressings, which we've been filming. I didn't have anyone with me, so I couldn't film anything. So this morning when I woke up, I thought, right, I'm just, I'm going to have this. I'm going to get some action. I'm going to find out what's going on, because I haven't yet heard from this new referral to a different hospital, to a surgeon, to get it, once and for all dealt with. So I went along. In fact, I kind of found myself pacing around the house, kind of getting all my points out and rehearsing what I was going to say. So I was kind of a bit wasp-chewy by the time I'd finished. I'd kind of, worked myself up into a bit of a bad headspace about it. But anyway, I went along and I told her about the kind of the bit that bubbled up at 9 o'clock and that has gone away. I told her about the smell. I told her that there is now another one coming up. And it was a little bit painful, sort of squirting the saline in. Basically, what she did was she took the dressing off, and then she just said, well, there's nothing coming out of it now. And I said, no, there isn't. I didn't expect there to be. And she said, I'm going to pack it with silver. So she didn't wash it or anything, but she's now given me some silver impregnated ribbon to put inside it. So I was in and out in 5 minutes. So she did that and put another dressing on it, and I'm going back to see her not next Wednesday because I'm going to be away, but Friday, so in 9 days' time. She asked me if I'd heard from the hospital, and I said no, I hadn't, and I wanted to find out what was going on there. And she said, well, I said, were they going to contact you or were they going to contact me? And she said, no, they were going to contact you. And I said, well, I definitely haven't heard anything. And I asked her, I said, can you have a look at the notes? Because, it seemed to me like something was going to be happening, because I've been on this other waiting list, which was for an outpatients department for a kind of consultation and then maybe refer me depending. And that's probably... well, because this happened, I've actually forgotten how many weeks I've been on that list, and I don't even know if I've been taken off that list now. And I need to find out. And the nurse didn't know that information. So I'm going to read you. She's printed off my referral, and it's like, I would be very grateful for your assessment of this 54-year-old patient who's been suffering with a sebaceous cyst on upper back for 3 months now. She's been intermittently on antibiotics for infections and has had 2 attempts at lancing. So that is including that buffoon chap scratching it with a pair of tweezers, some lancing, and expressing the cyst. Once whilst abroad, I wasn't abroad, I was in this country, so that's not right either. Where have I got to? I've lost my place now. And once while in A&E, that was the buffoon surgeon. Despite management to date, there's been no significant improvement, and it continues to cause significant discomfort on a daily basis. I discussed it with one of your registrars this afternoon, who suggested that a referral to outpatients would be the most appropriate course of action, with a view that she could perhaps be slotted into an upcoming clinic if possible. She's generally fit and well and takes no regular medications. So I think you can imagine that I was a bit just like, I'm just on another list now. I've started to have a look at, try and find some kind of private consultation here, and haven't really come up with much, but one of you lovelies has sent me a link, one of which I had actually found, but it didn't appear to me like they did these kind of surgeries. So a bit disappointing to say the least, especially as I'd wound myself up before I went there. It's just like, don't shoot the messenger. She doesn't know, so she printed a copy of this referral letter off. so that I could have it. So I've got all the phone numbers. But what I decided to do is to go and visit my neighbour, she's 98, and she's had a hip replacement last week, and I hadn't been to see her yet. So I decided to go and do something more cheerful instead, and go and see her. So that flicked me out of my bad vibe. Interestingly enough, probably for about the first 20 minutes, probably some of you who are nurses might know the reason for this, but for my journey to this hospital to visit my neighbour, after it was packed, I had some kind of pain coming up kind of to the side of my neck, a really weird sensation, and going across kind of to my shoulder, but not down to my elbow, and probably about that far down. I don't know if you can judge that. About that far down from where the opening is on my back. Some kind of really strange kind of sensations and feelings, and I just thought, if this carries on, I'm not going to be too happy about this, but at least I'm heading for a hospital if anything bad happens. But that actually went away, and I don't know if that's the silver from the new silver ribbon kind of, I don't know, getting its little army out. I have no idea. But so we're not changing the dressing tonight. So it's a bit of a break for Wink and I, who's like, oh, we don't have to change your dressing. That's amazing. We can get on and do something else. So that's my update for you. I'm going to ring this clinic that somebody sent me the link that I'd looked at, because obviously their advertising makes it look like it's very superficial kind of, things, and not quite open back surgery. So I'm going to ring them tomorrow and find out. I haven't heard from Dr. Gilmore, and I haven't heard from Dr. Sandra Lee either, as far as I'm aware, but I haven't actually checked my emails for a while, and I suppose it's still early in the day there. So I'll give you another update if I have any more news there. But I think nothing is going to be that quick, travelling over to the States, and I think, my kind of wasp chewing, kind of practicing how I was going to say, this is ridiculous, I need to do something. I think it's made me realise that I need to get something done as soon as possible, because this is just ridiculous. It's actually day 68 and day 79 since it first started hurting. So it's a very long time now. So I'm, kind of taking on board what I can do about this, and what I can do to stop this happening to other people in this country. But I did have a chat with a friend of mine who used to be a district nurse, not a district nurse, a ward sister for many, many years, until unfortunately she got fibromyalgia and she's unable to work now, but someone I went to school with. And she said it's funding. It's funding. They just don't have the funding to deal with these, what are considered minor surgeries. And that's all it's down for. She's having similar problems getting the right kind of blood test done for her thyroid issue, and her, to kind of get to the bottom a bit more about what's the best kind of form of action for her fibromyalgia. And as she has a lot of information, she's just like, I need this, I don't need that, but you've only done half the blood work. But they won't do it, and it's down to funding. This situation. So it seems like I'm on another outpatient waiting list to have a consultation to see what they'll do. So I think even if I go to this hospital appointment, they're not actually going to do anything. So really, I need to sort out some other avenues, because it's just getting ridiculous. So yeah, I just, I kind of, today made me realise I've really had enough of this now. And it needs to get sorted, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do. I can't actually make the system fit me in, because I'm not a high enough priority. I can't pretend I've got a temperature, because I haven't got one, So I think the surgery my doctor's surgery are as exasperated with it as I am, because it's taking up valuable time for them as well. So yes, we're doing it at home, but really we're doing what we know what to do. The bubbling up and the this and the that and the other. It's it's just all what we've seen before. So yeah, it's a tough one, because I kind of feel like I'm handcuffed, you know, like I've got my hands behind my back and I've, you know, hobbled, and I can't make the giant cog see me any sooner. And, you know, I can't seem to make it happen. So I think I'm going to have to slap some money at this, and, you know, just find out, you know, what I can do. And I want to be in charge of it. I want to say this, and this happens. And what about this dark skin? You know, what is going on? It's just like my body's been fighting this for so long now. And it's not like I'm not healthy, and it's not like I don't have a lot of energy, and it's not like I don't look after myself. You know, if any of those three things weren't true, I probably would have been in a huge amount of trouble, with a lot of knock-on kind of effects to my health, really. And it's not on, really. So, yeah, I'm thinking about a few things, but I don't want to kind of weigh my positivity down by going, let me complain to my MP. I mean, you know, maybe I should, you know, write to my Member of Parliament and say, this is ridiculous. Do you know that this is going on? But that's going to take me into a bit of negative headspace, and I don't think that's going to help me either, because, you know, by the time I'd finished this morning, I was kind of, by the time I was sort of heading off to the surgery. So I need to look after my mental health and my general vibe, as well as try and get this situation sorted once and for all. So I hope this has given you some of the information that you need. You'll see us with our silver dressing tomorrow. And I'm going to ring this outpatients department, but I'm not expecting that the nurse that answers the phone is actually going to be able to do anything, because she is also a small cog in this giant system where there just isn't enough funding to deal with all these cases. That there are going to be people who are much, much worse off than me. And whilst I'm not, you know, displaying major illnesses and, you know, narcotic tissue and, you know, great unwellness, I can be kept jogging along in the background until eventually my number comes up, you know, number to see someone, not my final number. So I am keeping an eye on my health, as I've promised you that I am, and I promise you that I'm doing everything that I can at this end. And I know it's as frustrating for you as it is for me, but I just can't magic up jumping in front of a massive queue. Just being in that A&E when that awful surgeon, you know, saw my back and poked and prodded, and it was just really just such a waste of time. You know, it was 2.5 hours behind my appointment time, and, you know, everybody was just in and out in 5-6 minutes, you know, just spuriously writing notes and not actually dealing with the patient in front of them. Oh, yes, you know, do all the paperwork, you know, next. It was a bit of a conveyor belt. So I do hope that's not what happens when finally they call me, or if they have a cancellation, which I think I'm on some cancellation list. So if they have somebody that cancels, you know, I don't know how it's going to work. So anyway, I'm rambling on a bit now, so probably boring the socks off you. Sorry for that. But I will be on tomorrow, and you can have a look at it. It's a little bit kind of, I can feel it when I rotate my shoulder. You know, it's not. I expect that bit that's coming up is from yesterday is coming up a bit more. But as I said, it wasn't washed. She actually said that we could just put water in it, just tap water. I didn't need to buy saline. You know, that's what they do sometimes, just use water to flush it out with. But there was nothing to flush out today. It was just like nothing, because Wink's been washing it out so well. So I don't know what you make of all that. I'm sure you'll be up in arms about a lot of it, and I kind of feel like that too. But shooting the messenger is not the way forward, because I can't actually get at the people that can make any decisions. All right then, lots of love to you, my lovelies. I hope you're having lovely evenings, afternoons and days wherever you are watching this from. Mwah. Lots of love. Bye.